My name is Chef Coco, and you are watching Joburg Today.
We got in touch with the Johannesburg Heritage Foundation, and I got to speak to its chairman, David Flemminger. You call yourself a Joburger.
I do.
What is a Joburger, and why do you call yourself that?
It's a hard question. What is a Joburger? Well, I am a Joburger because I was born in Joburg. I've lived here my entire life. In fact, I live about 5 k's from the house where I grew up. So I'm very much a local. However, I think that being a Joburger is actually more about a state of identity. Joburg is a city of immigrants. You know, there wasn't really a city here before gold was discovered. You know, there were a couple of scattered settlements and a couple of farms. But Joburg is a city of immigrants. Everybody came here. So on a certain level, we're all equal. And as new people come into Joburg, I think if you put up your hand and say, I live here, I love the city, I am a Joburger, that's enough.
Indeed. Now, how did you then get involved in the Heritage Foundation?
Well, I've known about the Heritage Foundation for a long time. You know, it was started in 1985 as the Parktown and Westcliff Heritage Trust, which was focused on protecting the heritage of the suburbs of Parktown and Westcliff. Then in 2012, it was expanded and it was renamed the Johannesburg Heritage Foundation because the focus had grown. And then I saw that they were running a course to train tour guides because this weekly schedule of tours is very grueling and you always need new blood coming in with new ideas and new tours. So I started getting involved, and then they asked me if I would join the board of management. And I said yes. And then I've been on the board of management for a few years. And then earlier this year, Flo Bird, who is our founder and now honorary life president, she said she wants to retire. She's reached 80 years old. She's done amazing work for the city, and she's really made a huge contribution. And she said to me, I'm turning 80. I want to slow down and focus on certain things. Please, would I take over the foundation? So I thought about it, and I said yes, because the city is not looking great for a number of reasons. And we all need to contribute to try and rejuvenate, refresh, uplift Joburg, not just the city centre, across Johannesburg. So I said yes, and now here I am, chair of the Johannesburg Heritage Foundation.
Now, how relevant would you say the Johannesburg Heritage Foundation is today?
I think it's very relevant. I think heritage is always relevant for a few reasons. Now, the Heritage Foundation has 2 main goals: to protect the heritage we have and to promote the heritage that we have. We don't want to be the guardians that say, can't touch anything, put a wall around it, don't let anybody in. We want heritage to be accessible. We want them to be put into use. We want people to visit these places. We want them to be open to the public so they can come and enjoy their heritage. These are all resources that we have in our city, and we should be using them to drive tourism, to drive pride, to drive identity, to drive economic development. You know, if you go to any major European city, and even American cities, which are much newer, what are the tourist attractions? What are the buildings and locations that attract visitors to the city? They're heritage. They're the old, beautiful buildings. They're the squares and the piazzas that have heritage value.
Now, with that said, how is the foundation funded to achieve its mandate?
That's a very good question. The foundation is volunteer run, firstly. All our members, our board of trustees, our board of membership, everybody works on a volunteer basis. There's no payment. So we rely on people to give up their time and their energy, and we're very grateful that we have an amazing group that has committed themselves to giving their time to the foundation. At this stage, we are self-funded from membership fees. Our membership fees are very low, but they play a useful role. The tours that we run every weekend, that generates quite a useful income stream. And otherwise, we approach individual donors or benefactors for specific projects. And we have been granted a couple of trusts. So just to explain the trusts, there were in the past 3 or 4, even 5 different heritage foundations, or heritage organizations rather, working in Johannesburg. One by one, they have all folded. And some of them have actually gave our foundation the remaining funds in their organizations. So we have a couple of trusts that have donated money, and we earn interest on that. The money that we do have, we spend on restoration, we spend on running costs, we spend on blue plaques. So I don't know if you've seen those blue plaques on buildings around the city. That's a program we run to commemorate important heritage sites. And we are actually in a fundraising phase right now, because the more we get, the more we can accomplish.
Now, how can I or anyone that is watching right now, be a part or get involved in the Heritage Foundation?
That's an excellent question. So if you are based in Joburg, the first thing you can do, and the easiest and the best way to get involved with the foundation, is join one of our tours. So we run a tour almost every weekend of the year, and they range from neighborhood tours to the grand old landlord mansions to modernist houses to we do a murder and madness bus tour that takes you to all these sites around the city where grisly things happened. Firstly, go to our website, www.joburgheritage.org.za. Find out more about us. There's a tour schedule on the website. Follow us on Facebook, Joburg Heritage. Follow us on Instagram. And all those platforms have our tour program promoted quite regularly. Online booking through Quicket, we have a Quicket page as well, so you can also find us on Quicket and follow us, our tours on there. Once you've engaged with us on our tours, which are always very popular, become a member. That's the next step. Membership is cheap. It's a couple of R100 per person for the year. You get a discount on our tours. You get advance notice of our tours, and also we have some tours that are members only. Then, if you would like to participate more and you have skills that you think the foundation could use, and we can, put up your hand, write us an email. I'd like to volunteer. I have this interest. I can help with that. And we are always looking for young ideas, young blood, fresh blood, anybody with time and interest.